You collect.
Yes.
You collect.
Yes.
And I think you just hit the head on it, man. I got chills. This is why we're here.
Why we're here.
I feel like that's, you collect a lot of things. And that may just be it, man, is that, you know what? This is secure for me. If I keep it in the box. If I keep it in the box and I keep it put up, where I can see it, I don't have to touch it, but as long as I can see it, then that creates security for me. And that's okay. It's okay. Who you heard?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Deep MCs, the podcast that seeks to push meaningful conversation to a whole new level. Whether it's for your entertainment or your personal growth, we appreciate you being here today. And now, on to the show. What's going on, man?
Hey, bro.
What's going on? I had to take a little minute break there for a second. Sometimes, you just want to feel like saying, fuck life, man. Fuck life.
Why?
Hey, sometimes people feel that way, but that's why we're here, why we do the show, go over and have these interesting conversations, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, what are we getting into today?
Man, we're jumping into, man, being driven or satisfied or not satisfied, right?
Yeah. Driven or not satisfied.
Or not satisfied.
When I think about that, it's interesting because for me, at least for myself, I question a lot of times what I'm doing, and I guess always having this feeling of like I'm not accomplishing as much as I should. I'm not getting the things done that I feel I need to get done. And I feel a lot of people struggle with that, but there's a level of performance, right? Mm-hmm. I say performance has varying levels. And I think once you cross over that median,
Uh-huh.
Because medians are in the street. You cross over those or run over them. I ran over a few in my time. Once you cross over, there becomes a point of obsession with production,
mm-hmm.
Addiction to accomplishment, a want to reach this pinnacle, knowing damn well once you get there, you're looking for the next goal
mm-hmm.
already.
Mm-hmm.
And am I just a very driven person where I feel that I need to accomplish all of these tasks and I need to continue to strive to do more? Or am I just fucked up and not satisfied with life? And then there's a problem with me because I should be satisfied because I've accomplished so much more than I should have or was expected to, or than a lot of other people, or whatever the situation may be, right? Because within all of these things and all of these thoughts lies your mental health and sanity,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to reach a level of I'm okay with myself, I'm okay where I'm at, but it's very hard to do, right? And I was thinking, because I look at a lot of these people, eccentrics, if you want to call them, or really creative people, or really, talented people, whatever, there's never an end. And if they don't have a really good handle on it, it spins out into a really bad way to where, next thing you know, it's a heavy drug problem, or they blow their brains out, or they go fucking crazy because like you're always just chasing. And for me, I find myself doing that, but then it becomes a hindrance because I want to hit the gas,
mm-hmm.
but then I say I need to hit the brakes.
Okay.
Because I need to stop smell the roses.
Mm-hmm.
but I got to hustle my ass off. I want to make it happen. But I should be appreciating what I have. But I'm not happy with what I got because I know I could be here. But I'm ignoring the hard work that I put in because I'm worried about the next step. But I'm not acknowledging the wins. I'm only seeing the failures.
I think that's it, man. I don't know that I think that last thing you said is it. I don't know that it's slowing down. I don't know that it's putting the brakes on. I think it's when you get to the point where you've set a goal, right? You've reached that goal. I think you just take a moment, acknowledge it, and then go on to the next thing. Because I think it's why some people are just wired to continue that route, to continue that movement, right? And I've seen people who, individuals who retire, right? They've been working all of their life, getting up at whatever time, going to this job, working their butts off, right? And then they retire and they're dead a week later. And because at that point, their whole routine, their whole drive, their whole kind of desire for continued growth and development, they no longer have that stability anymore. And so now it's almost relearning who I am in this new situation. And so retirement isn't for everybody, right?
Yeah.
But I believe that you do have to, I believe the caveat in it is definitely taking just a brief moment, to say, hey, great job. What did we learn from it? What's next?
Yeah, no, when it comes from a growth perspective, I mean, I definitely feel that is something that we should be doing. We don't do enough, and we should be doing is acknowledging that and moving on. But then it's also, for me, it becomes a question of, is this feeling societal, or is it, I've been fortunate enough to be able to travel a little bit, but language barriers and shit, you can't have real deep conversations with people from other countries and stuff like that all the time. But I wonder, right, because we've had conversations in the past, and on podcast episodes we've done where we talk about what is enough, right? And where does that happiness reside, right? And a lot of, we talked about times before, like some of the best times were when you didn't have any money.
Yeah.
You didn't have anything. Some of these countries you go around, they don't have the GDP of, the US or whatever. And they're living the most simple life, but they're so happy, right? And yeah, they still get up, they do their job, they work their land, they do whatever it is, and they're living life, and they're happy with the minimal amount of whatever it is that they have. Or it's minimal from our view, but it's everything to them. And then we come back here and it's like, gotta do this, 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 gotta. So, but then when you tell people, right, then they say, oh, well, yeah, it's good. You set a goal, you hit that, you go to the next one. You're like, okay, but again, well, then when is the goals enough?
Yeah. When do you cross the finish line?
Yeah. When you crossing the finish line doesn't mean you have to stop working.
Yeah.
Or stop whatever. But when does it become enough? And I guess for me, that's the question that I always try to figure out is, I find I struggle and it hinders my, I guess if you would, accomplishments or goals in some ways, because it's a constant battle of, am I being selfish? Am I not?
But selfish in your situation, selfish with whom?
With myself, right? Because at the end of the day, we're finally getting to a point where we're saying mental health is real.
Yeah.
There's struggles there. Everybody deals with it in some form or some severity. And there's a lot of pressures that are put on us from other people, or we're told that we should be doing this because that's the expectation or whatever. And is my drive being in a way selfish to myself because it's keeping me from seeing what I do have, seeing the great, right? And humans, we evolve and adapt so rapidly, right? And I think about, like we talked about in the past, like when I was living in Hawaii, I didn't see what I had through the louvered windows.
Yeah.
I didn't have shit then, but I had a really good life. I think about when I moved here and I was living in my car, I didn't have anything, and then I went to my first apartment and I slept on the floor just with a sheet and a pillow. Didn't have a pillowcase, and I didn't have anything in the apartment, no furniture, no nothing. I was happy. I still had fun. I still did what I did. But then as you evolve and you go past that, and it's, well, now I need this. I need this space, and I need to feel this space. I need to have these things. And now I have all these things around me, and fuck, however many rooms, I don't even use all the rooms. I only stay in the same, right. 300 square feet of whatever the fuck it is. And I'm still not content because I still feel like there's some goal. But
I think it's a double-edged sword though, because sleeping on the floor, you may have been content in that moment.
My back felt better, I'll tell you that.
Well, then sleep on the floor in one of the empty rooms.
Gotta get hungry, right? Gotta get hungry.
But that couldn't have been the end, because there was so much more left, right? That couldn't have been now if today you decided, because we were talking about, housing prices.
Yeah.
If today you decided to go get your equity out of your house and then go find you a 1-bedroom apartment and sleep on the floor, then now you've made a choice to go back to something where you felt like, okay, this was, and it's not out of a forced lack.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's out of a choice that you're saying, okay, this is where I had peace. This is where I found some joy with less overhead and less issues and less problems. I think that then now you're choosing, right? You're choosing the opportunity to go back and find something that worked for you, that you knew was valuable to you, and then push that, right?
Right. I mean, for sure, I think that's there, but then that, I don't know, right? The brain, and this goes from two sides. Another part, which it drives me nuts, right? So, as a lot of people know, like I never went to any advanced learning and to school. I fucking hate school, right? It's not for me. I'm not a school person. I hate it. Everything about it. I suck at school. I've had conversations with people, especially now in my current job, and everybody looks at me and they say, okay, well, if you want to get to this next level, I see that you're driven. If you want to get to this next level, but you need to go back to school. You need to go back to school because you're wasting all of this. Right, you're so much better than this, but you need to go, right? Use that drive to do this, do that. Like everybody, like this always just seems like people they see the drive, and then they feel you need to direct it to this, that, or the other, right? So you do that, you're living the dream for somebody else, or maybe they spark something and say, oh, maybe I could do that, and now I'm chasing after something else. But if none of that is like, I'm content where I'm at for my life, right? But then you do have those thoughts of, well, fuck, what am I doing? Maybe I am wasting, right? Because then the motor kicks in and you're like, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should be doing whatever else. First of all, let's clarify, I'm never going back to fucking school. All right, so like, everybody out there, let's get straight. Fuck school, I hate it, it's not for me. But it reignites that addiction. Like we've had talks before. Just another things, like for me, it's weird. Like I am so afraid to jump into certain things because it will become an addiction and it will become my life.
Okay.
And so you have to cage it, for lack of a better words. You have to dumb it down. But then people say, don't do that. If you're driven, you should just go out there and do it. But you see these driven people that are going out there and chasing, they give up a lot of life chasing or, allowing this drive to take over and go. And yeah, they may reach a certain level of success or whatever it may be, but then that becomes not enough.
Yeah, I got you.
It's not enough. And so, and for me, I guess that's where I always question is what are those plateaus and levels for, right? We talked about, like I said before, with how much money do you really need, right? But this is a different scenario for your mental well-being. What do those plateaus really get you? You know, what is it really gonna be? And I'm not saying don't achieve them, right? It kind of sounds like I'm gonna say that's bullshit, right? No, but it's proven it's never gonna be enough. That's why you go on to the next thing. It's never gonna be enough. So that's where I question, and we come in, we talk about, are you just really driven, or are you just not satisfied with what you have? Because it sounds bad to say, well, you're just not satisfied with what you have, but really that's it. Like, you hit your goal and you're not satisfied with being there. You want to go on to the next thing.
You know what? I don't know that I don't know that there's a problem with not being satisfied. I think, you know, that we have to try to find some balance in it, but not being satisfied. And maybe it is an American thing, right? But I know that there's a lot of stuff. I know that there's a lot of things, man, because I think when you see something and you know you have the capability to be able to grasp it, when you can see somebody down the street doing a certain thing, and you know what, I think that competition kicks in, and it's like, you know what, I know I'm better than that.
Yes.
Yes. I know I can do better than that, right? I've seen their work, and I know that and I think that thing does kick in, right?
It does.
That ego does kick in and say, you know what, if he can do it, then surely I can do it 10 times better.
Yeah, and then you come back like Jordan wearing the 4-5 and embarrass yourself.
Right. You wouldn't play baseball. What are you doing? Right? I mean, but okay, you went and tried it. You saw that you sucked, and then
and it was not.
And it was not it, right?
It was not.
So I think let's take the lesson. Let's realize, you know what? This wasn't the crowning glory of my career. I got to do something that I always wanted to do, right? I did it on the national stage. For the world to see and remember. Yeah. But now I realize that my goal and my timing was always here. And this is where I should have just stayed, right? I should have just stayed here. I should have just worked it out here. But, I got frustrated and I did something. I went after something that was unnecessary.
Did something stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
But those we got to learn from. That's the stuff I think we got to learn from somewhere in the process. But I think it's okay that he did it.
I mean, if that would not have been, if MJ was my boy and he hit me up, was like, hey, what do you think about this? I said, it's not for you, sir. I said, we can go to the batting cages if you want. You can swing all day, but
So are there some things, and because I'm thinking as we're talking, right? Are there some things that in your childhood that you always wanted to be, right? You wanted to be this, or you wanted to be great at that. Or there's some things now that maybe you could go back and pick up, right? Instead of being going to school, which you hate over here.
Oh, hate it.
Right? To get a better job, which you don't want.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So why keep doing that? But what if we come back over here and we say, okay, let me get back into basketball, or let me get back into.
Got them bum knees.
Well, let me get in the Paralympics then and get some braces on my knees.
Hey, so I can there and smoke them fools. And so I guess for me though, since we're talking about, not necessarily talking about me, but talking about me, I've always felt out of place everywhere.
Okay.
Right? There's been very few things, not even, I guess for me, I was kind of like, almost how like you'd say like, yo, you see the neighbor, right, doing it, and you're like, oh, I could do it better than that, right? Like I would always just do something to either see if I can do it or to prove to myself I can do it, or whatever. And then once I get that, I'm done with it.
But what if you're gifted to do that though?
But see, and that's the downfall. And so this is where the drive is a motherfucker, and this is where I feel. First of all, I'm not trying to say I'm a genius, right? I'm not gonna be like Kanye West.
But you are a very smart young man. Let's just say
no,
that. Yeah. Okay.
We'll
School
agree to
or
disagree.
Not. School or not.
We have 46, 48, 50. I don't know. We have a lot of episodes up. Everybody can go back and watch, and they can be like, "This dumb motherfucker don't." Aaron don't know what he's talking about because this is a dumb motherfucker sitting right here.
Go back and look at the episodes, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Either way, then I guess the thing about it is the people that have a talent or a gift don't necessarily recognize it, right? Because you see the people that have, it's always someone that sees a talent in somebody and they say, this guy is going to be a star. This girl is going to be the next CEO. This guy is going to do whatever. And they put them on that stage. For me, everything that I've ever done, I honestly can't look at anything and say, I did this well. Okay. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Because I look at everything and everything is fucking terrible.
I mean, you always look through it. You don't you ever look through anything through rosy glasses.
No. And that's the thing is right. So I remember like I had a conversation in the past, like when my parents died, we're cleaning out houses and shit like that, and conversations with my sisters and other people, and just all kind of bullshit. But like, I had a lot of trophies. I had a lot of whatevers. I have a lot. I threw them away.
Okay.
Throw them away.
Okay.
Because that doesn't mean anything, right? Like, so what? I was the best person on that day, and I could have been the best person. I ran a lot of track. Right. At the time, I was like the fastest person in my school. I won all league for everything. You go to state, all this other bullshit. I was just the best person on that day. Doesn't mean I was good at it. Anybody can have an off day.
So, but you were the best person on that day. So that's enough, though.
But that don't mean anything to me. So what? I was the best person on the day. So what?
Okay.
And that's just how it is. Or if it's making music. Okay, well, I did it. If someone liked it, yay, but I don't think it was good.
So yeah, you're not even you never celebrate it.
Because I don't view it as anything to celebrate.
Okay.
And for me, and that's where that drive comes in, and then I usually end up curbing the situation because I don't want it.
Do you ever sabotage it because you don't want to celebrate?
Probably, maybe. I don't know. But then I go on because it's not a celebration to me. I can't look at anything that I do and be proud of it.
Okay. What took that away?
It's always been that way.
Has it always been that way, or was there something that triggered that?
It's always been that way.
It's always been that way?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. There's no... If I win a race or get a touchdown or take an amazing picture that nobody has gone back to look at or whatever it may be, I don't view it as it's just what it is.
Okay. It's on to the next thing.
This is on. Okay, yeah, I did it. Oh, you want me to take a picture? I can tell you how to take a picture. You need my help with it? I'll help you do it. I can show you what to do. I can do whatever, but it's just general knowledge, pass on through and keep it moving, right? So I guess for me, when it comes to this conversation, it's very difficult because it's hard for me to get a life direction when I don't feel, right? People say, oh, I can feel this is the right thing. I can feel, like I can feel like, oh, I should probably be doing this or doing that to a certain extent, but I'm not going to view my actions in doing it as being anything worthwhile. And it doesn't matter what it is. We're making this podcast. Well, there's 100 trillion bajillion podcasts out there, but this shit could blow up to top 5 in the world, right? That doesn't mean anything to me because I'm still going to view it as that's just me standing there or me sitting there saying the same bullshit I've been saying my whole life. And what makes it so great is just it is what it is. The numbers don't mean anything to me.
I got you.
The accolades don't mean anything to me. People saying good job doesn't mean anything to me. And that's a hard one for people to understand, right? Like people say, oh, good job. to say that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. Not because I'm just a negative person, but because it doesn't do, like, that doesn't fuel the fire.
So what fuels the fire to go to the next thing? Like, what is the yearning and desire to go on to the next thing if you don't feel like you're going to be, if they're not going to be profitable for you in some way? What's the fuel and what's the trigger to go to the next conquest?
There isn't one.
Okay. But there's something. There's something that triggers the desire to to be better at that, or to go to that, or to to conquer that.
I mean, I do it. I just do it.
A lot of it I think is built into our nature of who we are, right?
Probably.
Yeah, because I believe that there are some things that you'll do inherently without anybody telling you ever to do it, right?
No, for sure.
It'll be those things that you'll go after. It's writing and never having written. It's those kind of things that just kind of don't make sense. But then you'll pop up and now you have a product that you can show to somebody and like, oh wow, dang. Because to a certain extent, I understand where you are, because I felt that way over the last couple of months, right? Over the last couple of weeks, with all of the changes that have happened in my life. I'm like, okay, all right, here we are, let's go. It's not like, oh yeah. It's like, okay, got that. Yeah. Boom, to the next thing. I was talking to my mom and she was like, aren't you happy? And I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't know, man. But that's the thing is that what success feels like? I don't know.
I think it's like beauty. It's in the eye of the person who's experiencing it and what that looks like. I think, yeah, man, I really do feel like it's a personal, inherent personal thing where some people are going to, if they find $5 on the street, they're going to do a party with that $5 because they found it, right? And make a big hoorah about it.
I'm happy if I find a penny. Whatever happened? Remember when we used to just find money?
Find a penny, pick it up.
No one even carries cash anymore. It's so hard to find money.
I mean, cash is going to be gone here shortly anyway.
It is. But I mean, I get what you're saying though. And it makes me question though too, because I feel like success isn't a real thing. Like I feel like it is, but it isn't, right? Because at the end of the day, it's our human nature to get bored of shit really fast, unfortunately.
And I think success now with us talking, right? This just jumped in. Success is measured against somebody else's accomplishment, right?
Right.
Because if I'm going to be successful on this job, that means I've measured up to the last boss. Or yeah. I've measured up to, what their expectations were. And so success is always connected to somebody's expectations, right, or somebody's previous measurement that has been benchmarked or something else that has been set. Well, so we allow, like you said before, I think we allow people to create success for us. And that may be why it doesn't matter. It's because we've allowed them to create it as opposed to us creating it. Like, what does it look for me? How do I go into my own thought process and identify it for myself? What are those things going to look like for me? Not based on what somebody else said I should go to school or said I should do this. And then when I graduate, now that's success. But now you have a student loan that Biden not going to pay for.
Yeah, man.
Right.
I mean, hey, some people are getting their debts forgiven. I wish they forgive me.
Yeah, they ain't forgiving
bullshit.
Yeah,
but hey,
they holding me accountable.
Yeah, for your. Some people are getting it though. I don't know why some people are getting it, some people are not. I mean, I'd agree. I think that success is measured with that. But then if you take that away though, right? Then how do you measure personal success if not against a metric in a person who's never satisfied with the outcome of their product?
So personal success for me may be, okay, I'm gonna lose 1 pound a week.
Okay.
That may be personal success. And that's not based on any doctor's, situations. That's not based on any of this, any of that. That's really just based on how I feel like I'm going to operate, right? Or something that I can hold myself accountable to, and then celebrate that 1 pound, a week with, a couple of scoops of ice cream.
Well,
and
now
just pick it back up.
You're not being comfortable in your skin, and you're being shaped by the body shamers out there to feel that you need to be losing weight 1 pound.
Because I will never be on that chart, right? That chart that they show you
all and fucked up
with the weights and the heights, and I will never be on that chart ever.
Yeah, no. I mean, I get, and I guess that for me, and I'm pretty sure there's probably lots of people in the back of the camera. I wish we could put like a little
and see them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just something, right? Because you're looking, kind of spooky there, and you're just seeing the back of the lens. But everybody out there in the world, in the back of the camera, that are like that, and wondering how do they measure that success? Mm-hmm. How do they determine if they're driven or unsatisfied? How do they say, hey, what I am doing is enough, or what I have done is great? Because I see, as I interact with people, right? Like, and I know that in your line of work right now, doing real estate, right, versus my line of work, just being terrible at life, right? Is two different worlds, right? I almost equate it to like when I was living in Hawaii, right? You are seeing people in a good spot. Mm-hmm. You're seeing people no one comes to Hawaii to start a fight. No one comes to Hawaii to whatever. In real estate, generally, the people are looking for their dream homes. They're looking to expand. They're looking to whatever. Like, you're not seeing that miserable fuck in their cubicle, at their 9 to 5 with their blinders on, just, listening to Jumper, trying to talk to himself off the ledge, saying, God, I just wish somebody would run me off the road. Just take me out. I don't want to kill myself because I'm a Christian. They say if you kill yourself, you can't go to heaven. So I'm going to hedge my bets and just want someone to take me off this planet. Right? Like that. That's what they do.
In the cubicle.
In the cubicle.
Okay.
Right? You don't get to see them like that, and how many hours they spend miserable because they don't feel that they're accomplished. They feel they could be doing more, or they don't acknowledge what they are doing, or the side projects that they're doing, or the things they're working on that, they think is overnight success, but really it should take, X amount of time to blow up and do these, what make the growth. Like, you don't see all that, and they're wondering, what is it all for? What is it all for? How do I find that peace to know that I am somebody, I am making accomplishments, I am, striving to something better. And even if I don't hit way over here in this mark that I'm going at, what I've done and presented is good. What I've done and presented is good enough, And that's the thing is it ever really good enough? If you're driven, it's never good enough, right? And then there's the people on the backside that are just fucking crushing it, and they have everything, and then they're just being assholes because
but they may not
satisfied.
have some peace of mind though. So you know what I'm saying. So it could look I think sometimes we look at people and assume that they have it all together, right? Because they've reached this goal, or they've reached that plateau, or they've won this award, or whatever those kind of things are, and we assume that that they're living a certain way, or have a certain kind of understanding about their life. And a lot of them are just as miserable as the rest of the population. But I think one of the misconceptions is that everybody looking for a dream home is coming to me. I don't get those people all the time.
You're getting dream homes, man.
I get nightmare homes, because I get the divorcing couple that's fighting over,
that could be a dream. Because sometimes you just want to get away from a motherfucker. You finally get in your own space.
Sometimes it's not.
It's not
rosy.
nerves. for the last 30 years, I'm finally giving me out this depressing ass 1 bedroom. I'll take it. And even now, that shit costs $400,000.
So I mean, you know, you do have some challenges in there where it doesn't add up like that all the time, right? You have it where, you know, somebody wanted the dream home and will never have enough cash in their current state to be able to afford it.
You know what that is? That's called not satisfied. You want marble countertops, you can only afford laminate, ma'am. Or sir.
And to have that conversation, you know, it's just not the easiest all the time, because you see in their eyes that they're doing it for themselves, that they're doing it for the kids, or, you know, they just want to have a better life. You know, I get that conversation all the time, and there's a lot of times where it just doesn't add up, man.
But if you think about that, though, people are coming to buy a house. First of all, you got to have some cash saved up.
Everybody doesn't believe that.
Right? Well, you can't help them. They're just stupid. But if you got to even if you can't afford your dream house, if you can afford a house, you're doing pretty fucking good. Right? You should be acknowledging that, even though you can't get everything that you want. But then at the end of the day, are you ever going to get everything that you want? Even when you build a custom house, you still don't get everything that you fucking want.
There's still going to be something missing.
Yeah,
you're going to get in and be like, dang it.
I wish I would have put.
Right.
You'll
see a new pen on Pinterest and be like, dang it, I should have done my shower like that.
Exactly. You never. but is that not satisfied? Right?
I mean, you know, bro, I don't have a problem with being unsatisfied. That doesn't bother me. I mean, I believe that there's some things where you can be ungrateful. I'll put ungrateful as opposed to unsatisfied, because I believe being unsatisfied does create a burning or a desire to continue to want more or do more, which I think is okay. Because some people, just like I said at the beginning, just need to keep moving and be active. Yeah. But I believe that there's a place where you can be ungrateful and not look back and say, you know what? All of the work I've done has got me to this place. I'm grateful that I was able to accomplish these things, right? I'm grateful that I may not be satisfied, but I am grateful that I do have.
I'm not happy about it, but I'll accept what I got.
This is what I got. This is what I got. And even though I got 4 bedrooms and I'm only using 300 square feet, hey, I'm grateful.
I wish I had 4 bedrooms. I'd be able to get this more money for this bullshit ass house over here in the hood, right?
You're not in the hood.
All right, I'd be able to get a little about 10. How much is an extra bedroom? About $20,000 extra dollars? 30? I don't know. I'm not in the real estate world, but 4 bedrooms would be nice. Be great, you know. But I agree. I don't. It's just so hard, man, because it's like, right, there's always an argument to counter the argument.
Yeah, of course.
There's always a saying that counters the other saying, and it's just very hard. And if you don't have a good foundation or a good direction, it's even more difficult to find that jump off point for yourself to get on the right path to whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you know?
Maybe it's just that you hadn't achieved the right thing yet.
Yeah.
So maybe all of these other things were building blocks, right? Because I grew up loving Legos, and I think I probably said that before 1,000 times now, right? I grew up loving Legos, and if I didn't have that one particular piece, then it wasn't done. You know, it wasn't finished. But all of these other blocks contributed. It's just I needed that one other thing to finalize it. Because if I was missing a whole wing on the plane, then it's not a plane at that point. You know, and so I think that there's, even with this conversation we're having, all of these things may have just been blocks, which is why you can't find satisfaction in them yet, because you hadn't found that crowning piece, you know, that center block that holds it all together. So all that you've been building in silos, and you're coming up, but then you need that cornerstone that's gonna hold it all together. And I think we're working towards that stone.
I mean, possibly, or just working towards dying in an avalanche of bricks.
Well, that's the stone in some places.
Right? And that's the stone in some places.
Sometimes that's the stone.
And yes, you have referenced Legos many a time. When's the last? Why are you currently playing with Lego? Sir?
No, but it is a desire. It's just I hadn't had the money to buy Lego, because Lego isn't cheap.
Hey, you can get Duplo or whatever.
No, absolutely not. Who's buying the generic Lego?
Hey, there's some people out there that that's all they can afford.
Nope.
There's nothing wrong.
Which is why I'm not buying any. Which is why I'm not buying any.
Generic Lego. I will say, this is going off on a tangent, but first of all, Lego. If you want to give us some Lego,
yeah, I mean, we'll take it.
We'll gladly take.
We'll
Lego
build them right here
on the set. They are doing some crazy things with Lego, and they have a lot of amazing sets that are coming out.
Yep.
And have come out, and I've had my eye on quite a few since you talked about it. Just made me think about that. But you're right, because every set I look at is like $250.
Yeah.
And
you used to be able to find them for, for reasonable prices, because I was getting them for Christmas, and if I was getting them, then they had to be cheap, because my parents wasn't getting down like that. So I mean, I was, Legos was I saw a friend of mine, man, on his Instagram. He bought the what is it? The Ghostbusters car.
Yeah.
It's about this big. You know what I'm saying? And he built it took him like a month. But he built the freaking Ghostbusters car, and I'm looking at it like just real salty, like
This if it makes you feel any better, he had to take a second out on his mortgage on his mortgage to afford it. I think that Lego is a great tool, man. Just because of the creative portion of it, and sparking the creativity and allowing yourself to kind of just lose yourself for a little bit in the process. I think that is a really good thing to do. Because
the thing is, I think there's a difference. So that car is final for me, right? Where I never was that Lego guy.
Right.
I was never that Lego guy that was going to build this thing that was going to go up in a case. Mine was always going to be torn up the next day, and I was going to start over and build something new, right? And so I think that's a difference too. And so there was never that finality for me with that. It was always, what is the next thing I can build? And so I believe even there, that level of not wanting to, this is not, yes, I made it, and I looked at the instructions the first time, right? I built what you said the first time, but then from that point on, I'm going to build what I want to. Right? Because I don't like blue, so I'm not going to use the blue Legos anymore, right? Or whatever it was. And so, I mean, it's those are the little small things in life where we begin to learn, okay, it's not final for me. I'm going to go to the next thing. And I think those instances are okay, right? Those are great. For him, that's going to be it. That would aggravate me. So I built it, but because now I got to find somewhere to put it up, and I got to dust it, and I got to, and all of this. I should have just left it in the box and left it as a collector's item and just put it up, if that's what I was going to do with it.
Speaking of that, and that's another thing too, because you're sparking all these ideas. Right, because you see that and you're not satisfied. You don't want that final piece. You want to rebuild and rebuild and rebuild and recreate, and that's a good thing. But then there are those people that want to keep it in the box.
Yep.
And they want to. I am a keep it in the box.
You are a keep it in the box guy.
I'm a keep it in the box kind of guy.
You don't even touch it when it comes in.
No.
You put your gloves on.
No. I have things that are still in the original shipping box. I haven't even opened it. So what I ordered might not even be in there.
You don't even know if that's the thing.
It may or may not be in there. I'm telling myself it's in there, and I'm just gonna keep it in the box because I don't want anything to happen to it. But I guess when you talk about relations in life, like that has, for me, that is a relation in my life too, because for me there's always like a lot of loss follows me, right? And so if I don't open it, if I don't free it,
got it.
you can't lose it.
That makes sense, man.
You know,
that makes a lot of sense.
And you see it, and I see it in a lot of stuff that I do, and a lot of my actions that I do, and the things that, you know, I couldn't.
You collect.
Yes.
You collect.
Yes.
And I think you just hit the head on it, man. I got chills. Like, you know, this is why we're here.
Why we're here.
I feel like that's, you know, you collect a lot of things, and that may just be it, man. Is that, you know what, this is secure for me. You know, if I keep it in the box, if I keep it in the box and I keep it put up, you know, where I can see it, you know, I don't have to touch it, but as long as I can see it, then that creates security for me, and that's okay. It's okay. Who are you hurting? Nobody.
I just look crazy.
We all look crazy at some point in it. Because here I am with a Ghostbusters card and I'm tearing up, right? And now I can't find half of the pieces.
They say, where's that? You paid how much for this? And it's all over. Yeah.
And it's all over there in a pile. And then I'm pissed off 20 years from now because it was a collector's item. And I don't have any of the pieces left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Well, hey, there you have it. I think we got some good revelations on both parts here.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm good with it.
Let's leave it right there,
yes,
man.
Sir.
What's going on, guys? Hopefully you enjoyed the show. We appreciate you listening for sure. But we need your help.
Yeah, we need your help. We need you to like, comment, and subscribe so that we can continue to make great content for you guys.
Yeah, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe.
And it's right here on the screen. Everything you need.
Right there. Thank you so much, guys, for listening.
All right, take care.